Good Sauce is brought to you always by attorney Mo DeWitt.
He's the man. He supports local businesses just like us. He's an expert in chicken parm and injury law.
He should be the very first person you call if you are ever injured in a car accident or if you're injured in a slip and fall.
Just if your feelings get hurt.
Injured on the go?
Just call Mo.
That's 1-866-CALL-MO or
justcallmo.com. Enjoy the show.
Yeah. You did it. Welcome to the Cool Guy Club. Welcome. It's Good Sauce with Rauce and Joel. Episode 25?
25.
Oh my God, a quarter century.
Quarter pounder.
I shot it out a little too early. Don't look into that sentence too far. What I'm trying to say is my name is Ross. That is Joel.
Yeah, De La Joel.
And always produced by Mr. Nico Renato.
Yes, sir.
Okay. He never knows what to say there, and I really appreciate the effort every single time on that first beat.
I always look how calm you look and then immediately terrified.
Yeah. Did you reek of uncomfortability for that first second? And I'm here to shatter that.
And Nico Renato, dodgeball. I'm sorry.
I messed my pants. Oh, God, I forgot this was going to happen again. It's every episode. And I'm here for it. We're here for it. And our listeners are here for it. We have a very special episode today because we're talking about fear.
It's October.
October.
And not the Mark Wahlberg movie with Reese Witherspoon, Fear. We're talking about actual fear.
Is that a deep cut? I've never heard of that movie.
Misunderstood. I did a lot of research on that film for today.
So it's October.
Jay kidding. I never do research for this.
It is. It's October. First and foremost, first question: do you guys like spooky season? Do you like the ghouls, the goblins, the zombies?
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not obsessed with it. Like, I still prefer Christmas all day.
Yeah, Christmas is.
But
yeah,
Renato, not a fan of Christmas.
Not that. I just
he hates the birth of Christ. So that's a whole different month of episodes.
Mangers are stupid, bro. Like, why are we celebrating the guy? Whatever, man.
everybody's just so happy and content. I don't know. I like the spooky season where everybody's
a little on edge.
scared, yeah.
The one thing, though, that Halloween has got Christmas beat by a lot is that there's a whole lot less debt from Halloween than there is Christmas. Christmas, I'd be like, yeah, I love the season. I love it. What's my APR on this card?
Yeah.
You don't do that for Halloween.
Yeah.
Well, it just depends on what you put your focus on during that holiday season, Ross.
Yeah, some people go all out. First and foremost, if you are somebody out there who dropped like $400 on a skeleton, thank you. Mm-hmm. Shout out to you. We need more people that are dropping a lot of money on Halloween decorations.
We just got a new addition to our yard. It's an inflatable corgi with a witch hat.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And can I ask the price on that?
You can ask my wife.
Yeah.
And she'll tell you.
Yeah. I just, I love a good Halloween decoration.
It arrived and she goes, you said I could buy this. And I was like, when? And she goes, last night. And I knew you weren't paying attention. But it's here now. And I was like, okay.
We got an inflatable corgi. But this, at least on this very first segment, I wanted to ask you guys, like, what scares you back then and also what scares you now? Because, and it's going to be very funny.
Back then, before COVID?
When we were children in our formative years, that's when I felt a different level of fear. It was, first and foremost, it's like illogical fear. Mm-hmm. All the fears that we have as adults now are like, no, those are based in reality. I don't know if I'm going to make that payment, or I'm afraid, as an adult, one of my fears is knowing that, like, my family has a long lineage of heart issues. So I'm always like, I should probably run more to keep my cardiovascular. When I was a kid, dude, I was running for fun. Now I run for, like, I need to stay alive. It's
medicinal exercise.
It's medicinal exercise. It's a very different level of fear. But do you guys remember the very first thing that, like, had you by the terror balls that just made you so unreasonably afraid?
Yeah.
Let me crack open. Are you afraid of the dark? was a Nickelodeon show that probably should
I
not.
was like, no.
That should not have really been broadcast. I appreciate what that show did because it made me conquer my very first fear. There was a jester episode.
You
And
were afraid of court jesters?
there was a court jester who had rotten teeth and like blue goop. And at the very end of the episode, there was like, oh, it was all a dream. It was all a dream. And then the last frame was like blue goop in the real world.
He was like, ha, just kidding.
Yeah. Ruined me.
Yeah, it's also a really poor example of a jester because they're supposed to be funny.
Yeah. And I think that's
Right.
what got me. Because I like, oh, cool guy. What are you doing? Why are your teeth like that? And he was yellow and blue. And I remember really liking the colors yellow and blue before that episode. And
Huge Chargers fan as a
it
kid.
ruined two hues for me. I could not stand yellow and blue.
You got rid of primary colors based on this?
Based on this damn Are You Afraid of the Dark Jester just ruined me. Then my brother went to high school, to Naples High School, the Golden Eagles. What are those colors, Renato?
Blue and yellow.
Oh, dude, I was terrified. I'm like, why are we celebrating the Are You Afraid of the Dark Jester?
That's why he went there and you didn't.
Yeah, it was my choice, and I was like, I ain't.
No way. I know who's there. He's there somewhere.
Yeah.
Now,
Have you seen the old janitor? Is he a jester?
yeah, it was, and I remember how I conquered that fear. Because as illogical that fear was, it's even crazier what defeats fears as a kid.
Did you do a ritual or something?
So it was.
I feel like this might be weird,
it is.
and I want to hear it.
It is a thumbprint unique answer,
Okay.
tailored to only young Rauce, and I was a out there child. So the jester,
You kind of stuck with that.
yeah, I don't think that's ever left me. You might be onto something there. But the jester would like nightmares. We're talking legit nightmares.
And what age are we talking about here? Because I want to know how long this had a grip of.
6 to 7, I would say, and that's the ballpark range. And the amount of time, I would say like 4 months, 3 months of like every time I closed my eyes, I thought of the jester, and it was like pink elephant kind of thing. Like, don't think about the jester. God,
Have to.
I'm thinking about the jester.
Yeah. Did you look for him places?
No, he just was always there. And then when I saw yellow and blue, I'd be like, he's close. So it really put a number on me.
He's close.
Dang.
I was in a private school at the time. So
Flex.
this is how I conquered. And I was in a private school and I was playing the video game Twisted Metal.
Oh,
Yup.
yeah.
All right.
Classic.
All right. Classic PS1.
Clown, very jester-like clown.
And there's the clown jester in that one. But for some strange reason, I was not afraid of that one.
Because he was exclusively in the ice cream truck.
Yeah. He was not blue and yellow.
That was a great game, by the way.
It was a lot of fun.
It was great.
I think they actually just made a show on it on Peacock.
Not interested.
Yeah, not interested. But old school Twisted Metal, oh, that's such a time capsule. I would imagine one of the characters in Twisted Metal, the construction vehicle, like the big scooper, big construction vehicle character in that game, being driven by Jesus.
This is not in the game.
Yeah, that Jesus is not in Twisted Metal.
No, not the first one at least.
But I had a combination of that video game character and Jesus pummeling the jester, like killing the jester over and over again. And then that's what...
That's a great mix of Halloween and Christmas right there. That's the spinoff episode where worlds collide.
That's what got me through my very first fear was Jesus killing a jester.
Huh.
And that's when you devoted your life to Christ.
For a couple more years, yeah. Definitely, yeah.
No matter what you're afraid of, Jesus will kick its ass.
Yeah, dude, Jesus be moonwalking on water and stuff. He's got water to wine. He can kill or, make things.
Not known for his kills.
Yeah, not known for his kills.
I
Kind
think
of.
those are zero,
Kinda
except for himself.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite. He's really known for getting killed.
Yeah.
For
That
our
only
sins.
happened twice.
Did it happen twice? What do you mean twice?
Oh, he's not around anymore?
Yeah, but
He's
Well,
everywhere.
that's true. He got killed. Then he came back. Then he kind of Homer
Skirt.
Simpsoned into the bushes.
yeah.
He was like, "I'll be right back."
The green bush is a metaphor for clouds.
It was more of an upward.
Yeah. So I'm curious though. That was the very first like impactful, formative fear. Who or what entity grabbed you as a little child that just made you go, no, this is gonna stick to your brain, if any at all?
Yeah, I was afraid of some stuff. We used to have I lived in Virginia before we moved to Florida, and we had a wood pile on the side of our house.
And where are you from? Born in
Roanoke, Virginia.
Roanoke.
Roanoke.
Roanoke
That's
is
scary.
like the.
That's a different place, though. That's Roanoke Island.
Oh,
Like,
okay. All right. Well,
talking about like back in the
yeah, I'm
settlers.
like
Yeah.
Salem.
No, different.
All right.
Different. I think that Roanoke is the one they did the whole season of what's that show? The Scary Show.
Yeah, American Horror Story.
Yeah, not that one. Roanoke, Virginia is like Southwest Virginia. It's known for having a big star on a mountain and a pretty good zoo.
Okay, that's different than pilgrims trying to murder.
Yeah, that didn't happen there.
Yeah.
But we had this wood pile and it had snakes in it sometimes. And you wouldn't
Yeah.
see them. You'd walk by the wood pile and then it would be like slither, slither.
Ooh,
And so I thought that they were everywhere. You know, you walk by a
that's that illogical kid.
yeah.
thinking
I'm like, you
oh,
walk by
great.
a couch and then just up from the cushions it would be like slither, slither. I'm like, well, I can't sit down. There's snakes everywhere.
Now,
and oddly enough, I didn't take that fear with me when we moved to Florida, where there's way more snakes.
yeah,
Right, I
there
was
is
about to
a
say, yeah,
There's
a lot more
legitimately
reps.
probably a snake in this room,
yeah, absolutely.
but and it's you, Renata.
Yeah.
Jay kidding.
What was that? Yeah, nice. I like your snake.
His snake is into
The Philly
dudes.
snake.
Yeah, that was a very 2024 snake there. That was nice.
Thanks.
To be fair, I'm not afraid of gay snakes more than straight snakes.
Yeah,
Let it be known, I'm very inclusive in my
Yeah, and then-
general fear of all snakes.
Curious, did you grow out of it naturally? Was there like what was introduced to you that made you stop the fear of the slither snake
Sharks.
sharks?
Okay, yeah. So a bigger fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is hilarious because you can avoid sharks by simply not going in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Snakes.
that's not fun.
It's not fun. And fear isn't
How do you go to the beach and not go in the water?
Oh, I did. That was the thing. Is like I would love the ocean too much to not go in the water.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, it's gonna happen.
If it-
Like
yeah.
I knew I was gonna get attacked by a shark. It still hasn't happened. I still fling myself into the ocean at almost every chance.
Yeah, you gotta.
You got to.
You have to.
And I've had
It's too hot out.
I've been bumped by a shark once.
No way.
But that was it. That's the only time I've ever even touched one.
Yeah. And then
And I didn't touch it.
See, that would be enough for me to just.
Oh, it was wild. I was
wrap it up, right?
Yeah,
I
wrap
was
it up,
probably
yeah.
like 10 feet away from my cousin. We were at New Smyrna, which is the shark attack capital of the world.
Yeah.
And we're boogie boarding, and a shark bumps me, and I see it. And I looked at my cousin, and I was like, I'll race you. And I started swimming back. And then when we got back, he was younger than me. I think
Yeah, rest in peace.
probably like, he didn't make it.
Shark got him.
It was him or me. And I'm sorry.
You kick him in the face.
Hey, buddy, can you touch the bottom? Bye. No, but I told him when we got to the shore, I was like, did you see that shark? And he was like, what? I was like, now you can be afraid of them with me.
Yeah. Do you?
And I'm not really afraid of them anymore, but I really was when I was younger.
And that's wild to think though that your shark fear, which a lot of people have, was not Jaws correlated. Was it? Jaws?
No. I wasn't. I didn't think they were like great whites that were gonna come get me. I just thought a reasonably sized shark was gonna like bite my leg off and I'd bleed out and die.
At what
But
age?
it didn't stop me. It never stopped me ever.
Yeah.
That's. I don't know if you know a lot about me, Ross, but I face my fears.
Yeah.
I would have been finding a court jester ASAP if I was you.
Yeah.
I didn't need to wait for Jesus to beat the sharks.
I needed Jesus's help to conquer through my first fear of
Jesus
that.
does look like he'd hang out at the beach, though.
Yeah.
He's got more of a Coco vibe.
He's got 2 6-packs, you know. He's a little jacked, and he's got some buds.
Yeah.
Jesus does that for a lot of people, though. Help conquer their fear. So you're not alone in that.
Yeah. It was just mine was a fictional. Are you afraid of the dark Nickelodeon jester?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
mine was the apex predator of the seas.
Yeah, we're basically one and the same. Moving on.
Why we're friends.
Yeah, we're equals when it comes to our kid fears. I am very pumped up about this question, Renato, because I feel like your first fear could be.
Well, I had one in mind, and then your jester fear made me think of when I was a kid, I saw a show. I don't know if anybody remembers Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy really got me. I think
That
it
was
was
good, dude.
Thank you.
We don't wait. I'm gonna applaud that, dude.
Thanks,
That was
guys.
great. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, you're really good at that. I'm really good at the gay snake. And we got talents on this.
Yeah, we are killing it.
Yeah. There's nothing we can't voice.
Yeah.
But the one that I originally had was just rejection from my fellow classmates. I moved around a lot in school, and just too many lunches in a bathroom stalls. and
No, Renato.
just- yeah,
Are you allowed to eat lunch in the bathroom?
I did.
Yeah, you're just ripping corn dogs in a stall, dude.
It was the only place I could go to where people wouldn't see that I was sitting by myself. They would just think I was taking a poop or something.
Yeah.
So wait, so would you go and eat lunch with like pants dropped in a stall as
No,
well
no,
to
no.
like sell the image?
That would be weird.
Yeah,
I was too young to think of that, but now I would have done that. I wasn't smart enough.
You just
yet.
hear the crinkle of fruit snacks.
See,
I just imagine it. Did anyone in your house, a parent or whatever, write you notes in your lunch ever?
Did she? I don't know. All I remember is my dad would make me egg salad sandwiches. That's it.
Okay, all right. So
So that was the love.
It's
love
like,
it.
he's having a rough time at school. Let's load him up with farts. Here's some eggy salad, bud.
I went with.
Which I still love egg salad sandwiches because of that, though.
Yeah.
If you're
They're
just
delicious.
joining us, our biggest kid fears were: are you afraid of the dark? Sharks and snakes, and rejection of fellow
Classmate.
classmates.
If I've ever heard of a candidate for homeschooling,
So, all right.
egg salad boys room over here.
let me phrase this a little differently here. What is there a fictional like
Raisins.
Those are not fictional.
No, those are that's
No. Not the raisins that you eat, but the little raisin figurines that they
The
came out
California
with.
raisins?
Yes. Those things.
Wow, though you're afraid of the California raisins?
Yeah, it's because I didn't like raisins, and then when I saw those things with little legs and arms,
When you
I was
saw
like,
that
"Oh
they
hell
became
no!"
sentient,
Yeah, no. I was like, "Oh, they're coming to get me."
they aren't. They're just
F them.
grooving, man.
Nah.
Those raisins were cool.
I know.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
We're
Sunglasses
diving
and stuff.
we're diving into our childhood fears here, and I first of all, that's insane.
And we wasted a lot of time on ours.
Yeah.
Because, man, Renato came to play.
So it's wild for me to hear you say that because Renato and I went to the same middle school, and we also went to the same high school.
Did you always wonder where he was at lunch?
But you were, and you should know this. If you have to know this by now. You were incredibly cool.
Not in middle school.
I mean, middle school is
No one's cool in middle school.
yeah. It's
No, if you see somebody who's killing it in middle school, you're like, wrong time to peak. But
Yeah, bro.
yeah,
this does not matter.
you are about to suck in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, man. It's gonna be brutal for you.
It's true though. You can't have that much success at that age.
When my son, right, who's now like 20 days old, when he gets into middle school, I'm gonna tell him to suck. I'm gonna tell him to like,
Just shave a line in his hair.
yeah.
Give him something weird to
Yeah,
wear.
shave his eyebrows off.
I'm gonna give him egg salad sandwiches, and I'm gonna say handicap stall.
Handicapped.
Yeah, all right. It's a little
Handicap
roomy.
stall I love the handicap stall.
Yeah.
I love when, I always check and make sure nobody's wheeling up to it. But then it's like a 1-bedroom. Like they probably charge over $1,000 a month for the handicap stall. Like it's
in New
got
York
its own
City, yeah.
sink. You can come out of there ready to live your life.
It's the closest that I will get to ever buying a first class plane ticket.
yeah.
Yeah,
it's like first class.
it feels like the pinky ring of bathrooms.
And you got leg room, which is ironic.
If you like that, have you tried the family stall?
Would you?
Oh,
would
yeah.
you? Really?
Yeah, that's like a an upgrade even on first class. It's like
It is. Okay, I know what you're talking
two-story
about.
house.
That's got the baby changing. What's the Murphy bed?
Yeah.
Pops out?
Take a quick little cat nap on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could put all your phone and all that stuff right on that baby changing.
Don't do that. That's where the poop is.
Oh, you're right. Ooh.
Because there's no cleaning supplies in there. As somebody who's had to use that because they had a baby, you think about it after you're done with whatever terror. Talk about something to be afraid of.
Wow, new fear.
You're
unlocked.
just new to diaper changing, but wait till stuff happens in public, and there's like it's on you, and you didn't bring another shirt, and you're like, should I still go to Cracker Barrel?
So
That's an adult fear. Is
How-
that you've
Yeah.
forgotten an important baby thing. Like you go somewhere and you don't have a bottle, and you're like, I swear, I packed it. I swear.
how
left it on the bed.
Renee, how many egg salad sandwiches did you eat in a bathroom stall? And this was happening at Oak Ridge Middle School.
I don't know about. I moved a lot as a kid, so like up until Oak Ridge, going into Gulf Coast, middle
Naples,
school to high
Florida.
school, right? I basically moved every year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was the new kid every single.
You know what every school has? A bathroom.
Yeah, and right. I'm trying to find
Hello,
the
how
common
was your friend?
denominator.
That's your
Yeah.
comfort
You know,
zone.
but how I got over it though, I learned how to.
Make egg salad sandwiches yourself.
started slinging them. All his friends.
I became a very good desk drummer. So at lunch, I would break out the desk drum skills and win my classmates over.
I remember.
Yeah, that if you ever were wondering why I was desk drumming at lunch,
You were protecting yourself.
He was establishing dominance in the yard.
You were.
You got to. You show him, flex, beat this. Did
Yeah.
you do Wipeout? That was always my go-to.
Wipe out.
I can still do it.
You were very good at pencil.
yeah, I learned the sweeps and everything.
Yeah.
Explain.
But
Oh, you were busting into some like jazz drumming.
So you don't know about this, but Renato's also a drummer. He's. I don't think you've ever heard that.
Nope.
Yeah, Renato was like, Nick Cannon, dude. He was drumlining hard.
yeah, that movie really got me.
Yeah. That is aggressively funny for me. that is
Because of my whole fear of rejection and everything, that's might have been the reason why I became drum captain.
yeah, drum captain.
Thinking back on it,
And then also, and here's another thing too, like Renato was a very cool guy in high school. You were the first person to rock tube socks before tube socks were like, yeah, I love that.
tube socks. I remember moccasins were a big thing, so I had the Nike tube socks with the moccasins, and it was a flex.
Tube
Yeah.
sockasins.
Tube socks.
You're rocking tube socks, mocks, finger drumming. Still rocking egg salad?
When I can. Definitely
You're turning into like
yeah.
Big Lebowski the dude.
It's just now everything.
they
I do
weren't
like some
ready.
White Russians though.
You know why? Do you?
Yeah, I love them. They're great.
You are sort of like a mythical character to me.
Yeah, really random.
Like I think we talk, and then you say stuff every now and then that just blows my mind, and I'm like that.
But unlike the dude, when the dude eats an egg salad sandwich, he doesn't cry.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. All right, we have to take a break. And man, God bless fears. Without fear, you don't have all of life. Fear is a massive part of this whole existence thing.
And no matter what your fear is, it can be cured with a combination of finger drumming and Jesus Christ.
We'll be right back. That went way better than I thought. Hell yeah. Okay. All right. Stay right there. Well, yeah. Be right back. It is always awesome to let people know how blessed we are here in Central Florida with the Orange County History Center, located right in the heart of downtown Orlando. It's the best hidden date night if you haven't experienced it yet.
Yeah, and you can experience it every third Thursday. They're open late. It's open at night. You can experience the amazing exhibits that they have going on and learn a little bit more about the city where we live.
They always have fantastic exhibits, and not to mention every third Thursday, Joel, it's free.
That is my favorite price.
So make sure that you definitely take up on all the offerings that Central Florida has to offer. And on top of that list is the Orange County History Center, especially on that third Thursday of every month. Go check them out online at thehistorycenter.org.
That's the best web address in the world.
They nailed it. I get asked all the time, how come you guys haven't put out a new sketch in forever? We have made 10 sketches online. It was our hit theatrical show for the Orlando Fringe Festival. I wanted to take some time during the podcast to let them know it's online for free.
10 all-new sketches written by us. Performed by us. If you're looking for more us, there's 10 sketches online at Rauce's YouTube page, which is my favorite place online.
Yeah, just look up Rauce Paget on YouTube. That's Rauce. It's always spelled like sauce. It will always be spelled like sauce. So there's a free comedy special for you all to enjoy.
Rauce's YouTube, 10 sketches with Rauce and Joel.
Us. I didn't say it at the right time there.
Us.
Do you want to know where you can get some of the most special beer on this planet?
Yes.
A Half Barrel Beer Project has some beer that, simply put, you can't get anywhere else.
And it doesn't matter what kind of beer you like. They have that kind of beer.
They're called Half Barrel Beer Project because they themselves brew small batches. The key word there is small. Small batches provide freedom to be able to brew drinks that are unbelievably unique to them and, more importantly, to us, the consumer.
Yeah, not to mention the food is amazing.
Open for lunch and dinner. You have to check out their chicken wings. I just did that this weekend. They're marinated for 24 hours and a lager beer. They have an amazing special dry rub. Half Barrel Beer Project is the official eatery and drinkery.
And hangoutery.
And hangoutery. We're just putting Erie on top of everything. And here's the best part. It's locally owned, and they are supporting locals just like us. Locally owned, supporting locals. How about our listeners also join in on the triangle of local support?
Go to Half Barrel and have a full good day.
Give them a follow on Instagram to see what we're talking about, or you can visit them online at their website, halfbarrelproject.com. Once again, check them out at halfbarrelproject.com. Welcome back. Good Sauce, episode 25. You hear that music right there?
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like,
That music is done by a local musician who's also a local writer, who's also a local actor, a local improviser,
And a local sweetheart.
a local just bestie of the show. We are fans of the person who made this exact track that you're listening to, which is our intro and outro music. His name is Adam Sharp. And we wanted to make sure that we let all of our listeners know that he just came out with another album.
Yeah.
And
He's prolific.
He is the most creative, most artistic artist that Central Florida has to offer. So please, if you can, support our own Adam Sharp.
Yeah, look him up. It's on everything. It's on iTunes and Spotify, and it's worth it. All of his albums are great, but he has a brand new one. Check it out.
And
we love you, Adam.
We love you, Adam. If you're just joining us, on the radio broadcast, we are talking about fear and childhood fears and how funny that they are and were and what got us out of that fear hole of, what got me out of my fear hole was, we just said it was that Jesus basically driving a construction truck, hummeling the thing that feared me the most, which was a jester from Are You Afraid of the Dark? Your biggest fear was snakes and sharks, and raisins for Renato.
The California raisins.
Yeah.
Heard it through the grapevine.
Were you fine with Sun-Made?
no raisins at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, raisins, you can't be too specific. It's all or nothing. What about a craisin? You okay with that?
No.
Oh.
Any dried fruit?
Nah.
Not a big fan of dried fruit.
Apricots?
Absolutely not.
Do you say apricot or apricot?
I go apricot.
Okay.
I just don't say the word at all.
He doesn't say the A word.
Yeah.
Another big fear of mine was, out of the big three horror icons, I know Joel and I have this in agreement, but Freddy Krueger did a number on me.
Yeah, Freddy Krueger is scary.
And what's weird,
Especially because he attacks you when you're sleeping.
that was his whole business model, and it worked. Also, what's funny is that Freddy Krueger, post getting burned, should not be as scary as Freddy Krueger pre getting burned.
I mean,
Homie was a pedo.
Right.
You would think that was going to be the scariest part about him. Nay. He throws a weird, I guess, retired gardening tool. Do those even exist any? I've never...
yeah.
It's
an odd choice.
What he did to that gardening tool is what Hitler did to his mustache, dude. You just can't... You can't recover...
Nobody's rocking that mustache.
No one's rocking that mustache, and no one's rocking that glove.
No.
But did you... we had a couple more childhood fears.
Yeah, mine were in dreams, but it was always like I would look out my bedroom window. It was up on the second story, and I would see like the Iraqi army pull in, like tanks and stuff. This was during the Persian Gulf conflict. And then Saddam Hussein would be at my door.
Yeah.
And I would have to, unarmed, fight him. And at that time, he had like Darth Vader level villain vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was young, and
He was
I was
force
like,
gripping. He had force lightning.
to me, that is what was going to happen.
Yeah.
He also had a big mustache.
Yeah.
You know.
I had a very common occurring nightmare as a child where I was on top of a bunk bed, and the sliding wood door would open, and my mom would go, "Honey," right? And I would only see the top of her head, and it was definitely my mom. But as she slowly walked towards me on top of this bunk bed,
Face of a jester.
she would become like a troll, like a monster, very where the wild things are.
Yeah, but wearing the hair of your mom.
It gets weirder, wearing a birthday party hat.
Whoa. There's probably some
The pointy
meaning
with
behind
the elastic.
Yeah, pointy, elastic little string that always hurts your neck whenever you...
Cuts off all chin circulation.
It's really weird, and it leaves a mark.
Yeah, you're not supposed to wear it the whole day, you know.
Yeah, poor design.
Yeah.
They should come with a little warning. They
Yeah.
should let
that.
you
I wonder
know.
what a dream psychologist would say about that.
See, and then I'm so anti-magic, and like people are like, "Ooh, what does that mean?" I'm like, dude, I've had some crazy dreams, and I'm not trying to find... I think it's just my brain just like, wee.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really find too much meaning in dreams.
I would. I
I
don't
do.
want to. You do?
Yeah, no,
You read into them?
I feel like every time you experience deja vu, I feel like you've dreamt that moment like before.
I've heard a theory on deja vu that it is actually it is that everything is comfortable and in line. It's what you think should be happening. And that level of comfort is why you think it's happened already.
So
So it's like everything is actually right. And maybe that's just what somebody told me to settle me on the whole topic, but it makes sense. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's why it's familiar. This is what's supposed to be happening.
one of my favorite deja vu moments was actually not from me. It was from my brother, and I love my brother. My brother is very talented, but he's also I won most unforgettable as a high school superlative. My brother won most dramatic. That's what I'm trying to get at. I won't, elaborate any further. He has his ways of being dramatic every now and then, and he's made a career out of being dramatic. He's very good.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But there was one time that my brother, my mother, and myself, we were living in a hotel, not from like, oh God, we've hit rock bottom. It was Hawthorne Suites. It was a very nice hotel. And we were living in the hotel because we were in transition of moving. My mom was like buying her dream home, but it wasn't ready in time and the lease was done. So we just kicked it in this hotel continental breakfast. Never had to clean a room. It was
great.
dope, dude. It was so good. And we were in the hotel, and I threw a football, and the football like not very far, obviously. I'm in a damn hotel room.
Yeah.
And
Weird place to
Yeah.
chuck the pigskin.
Yeah. And it goes across the bed, and I jump, and I go, gain of 10. And my brother goes, no one move. No one move. 8, 22, 36, 41, 4. And everyone is like, what is wrong with Chase right now? And he goes, Mom, you need to play those numbers. Right? You just shelled out a bunch of these numbers.
Well, someone had obviously possessed him.
Did you play the numbers?
Yeah. So we played the numbers. They were so horrifically piss wrong.
Well, what's funny about it is the Florida lottery got the numbers wrong. His were right.
yeah, like
That's on them.
and ever since that moment, like that was one of the biggest contributing factors of like everything's a lie. I'm not gonna look into the meaning of a dream or like deja
He was
vu.
awake though. That's hilarious.
Yeah, just like anything like
You know what's funny is those numbers probably hit somewhere else.
Yeah.
And he's like, I guess I'm not a prophet.
yeah. You would have killed it though in like Russia or in some. I don't think Russia has a state or countrywide lottery.
A lottery?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think they do
It's
that.
for bread.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But so what? You have another
Well,
childhood
you
fear?
guys had. You were talking about movies and being scared of those. I didn't have like the big 3 or whatever, but I know what you did last summer.
Really?
The guy with the hook hand really got me. I remember I couldn't even pee by myself.
What do you?
I had my mom come in and hang out.
Hold your egg salad sandwich.
Well,
That's what you guys called it.
I
You gotta
was
make
literal.
sure to clean your egg salad.
nah, bro.
You need a lookout
yeah.
because you thought old hook hands was coming.
No, absolutely. Yeah, no. Yeah, it was that bad. Yeah.
How old were you when you watched that movie?
When it came out, it was fresh. It was like a new one. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
I think Freddie Prinze Jr. was in there.
What's your rule about scary movies?
About half of the cast of Scooby-Doo.
What is
You know, oddly enough, that killer in the suit, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. What's your rule about scary movies with your sons? 'Cause,
Well,
I
it
still-
changed a long time ago. But also, keep in mind, it's different. When you have your kids half of the time, the other half of the time, there's different rules.
Yeah.
And it's, it's just the way that it is,
Mm-hmm.
And you can fight about everything all the time, but that sucks. So you just kind of ride with it, And when they were little, my younger son was like, "Have you seen?" I'm trying to remember what movie it was, but it was like a silly horror movie. It was like, what's the big shark one?
Sharknado.
Jaws?
Not that one. That one I've heard of. It was some shark movie, and I was like, "You watch that?" I was like, "That's kind of scary, isn't it?" And he looked at me with it just goes, "That's not real." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Problem solved.
They don't care about, never been afraid of a movie. They are like, that's not real. They've gone to Halloween Horror Nights forever. I think it's different because they have like actor family,
Yeah. They're in entertainment.
there's a suspension of disbelief that, I don't know, that things aren't real to them. Like, we'll go see something, I think they're scary, and they go, "Can we go backstage?" Who do you know? It's everything's fake.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's just my kids, and they grew up hanging around. I used to direct theater all the time, and they saw that, and then they
saw.
started going
So they've never not known a time of like this is how it's done.
yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, exactly. It's not like they filmed this because it's real. It's like, no, that an effects person did that, and that was a cool way to do that effect. And
I asked my.
I used to do the horror makeup show.
yeah.
And when I will tell you about that at Universal, I was doing the horror makeup show, and Dawson was 3 when I first started doing that show.
Wild.
And probably one of the scarier things was the wolf in the horror makeup show.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Got him.
Because it was big and real. It wasn't on a screen. And it,
Hell yeah.
that was one of the times when I was like, maybe you shouldn't be at this.
Yeah.
Did you guys used to work together?
Every now and then, yeah. We did it a couple times, yeah. What is I asked my wife on the break, I was like, hey, what was your like big childhood fear? And hers is radically different than all three of our answers. She said, I would always sleep with a stuffed animal over my chest because I was so afraid of getting stabbed in the heart.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah, that tells you a lot about my wife.
Stabbed in
But
the
yeah,
heart.
she was very anti getting stabbed in the heart perpetually every second for years.
Did she tell you the root of it?
No. She was just like, she found out that our heart is our weakness, and if you get stabbed in it, it doesn't go well, and she ran with it.
Wow.
Then it also got me thinking, like, all right, maybe she was a vampire, you know?
I
what
was
I'm
thinking
saying?
vampires, yeah.
So, and now question though, and this is one thing that always,
Way more realistic of a fear, though, than vampires.
yeah,
That a home intruder, possibly Saddam Hussein,
you know,
is going to break in and stab you.
yeah.
But not if you put this teddy bear.
Yeah. You got a plush animal that will protect you.
Yeah.
What do you now? This is where I really wanted to go with the back half of this conversation is that how funny is our adult fears and how much they've transformed into like raisins. It's honestly every time we bring up raisins, it still looks like you kind of shudder with fear, Renato. I'm not gonna lie.
Just don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand the appeal.
But what are your fears now as an adult?
Raisins.
Yeah.
They're the same.
Well, being rejected by Gen Zs now.
Really?
I'm gonna be too old and like I'm gonna crack like the funniest joke ever. They're just gonna look at me like I'm an idiot. Like that's
And then they'll say something in response that you don't understand.
yeah,
And
exactly.
then they'll all laugh.
And then you fake laugh, and then they're like, "That
Your
wasn't
worst fear is my weekdays.
Yeah, it is. It is weird getting. I've said this a whole bunch on stage. Is like I'm not saying that I'm old. None of us are old here. It's just weird that.
That's such an old guy's thing to say.
Yeah. I promise you, we're not old. Okay, and if anybody says it, all right,
They're old.
I'm gonna get real mad. I'm gonna get real pissy.
Better get your stuffed animal out.
But I like the old to me is that like. What's this? That's a calculator. You know, like, what happened to abacus? Well, I like abacus. Yeah, like that's
Like, old man, the plural of abacuses is abaci.
abaci. Who's that? It's just, I don't think that we're old, but it's
You're
so.
talking about like losing control of your body old.
Yeah. You sneeze and you're like, oh, I need help.
Yeah.
Like that's old to me. It's just weird.
Anything short of that.
When you're young,
Yeah.
you've still got it. You can still learn. You're willing and able. You've got this. It's just odd being older than anything for the first couple of years. At 31, 32, it started to hit me a little bit of like, I know I'm not old, but this is the first time ever I'm older than you. And it is palpable. I can feel that. I look back at like young people. I'm like, damn, dude, I remember being that happy and being like that ignorantly blissful of like I went from nothing matters in my 20s to like, dude, all of this matters, man. What is a 1099?
Yeah.
what? I have to do this. I have to learn this.
This hit me this week at my kid's school. They have like themes. You dress like this on Monday, this on Tuesday, and today's theme was it was like Throwback Day. So you were allowed to dress like the 80s or the 90s.
Oh man.
And when I was a kid, I remember that the old decade was the 70s.
Yeah, it was all
Now,
hippies and
It's when I was like doing stuff.
yeah.
I have vivid memories of the 90s.
Yeah, it was.
I was like a 90s kid for sure.
When
And
that's-
I saw most of the 80s.
it hit hard when that 70s show went to that 90s show. I think for a little
Yeah.
bit.
I was like, that's insulting.
Okay, all right. How about we pump the brakes here?
Yeah, let's not say that's old yet.
Yeah, let's not. Don't do that to
The
Topher.
90s aren't incontinent yet.
Yeah.
We went out to lunch the other day with Shanice and her little brother, who's a Gen Z.
Your
And
girlfriend.
My girlfriend, Shanice. And he also had his girlfriend, right? and I didn't see it, but I guess a guy was looking at his girlfriend, right? And he just like kind of starts flipping out a little bit, and then he drops this one that really got me. He goes, I mean, the guy's like 30 years old.
Oh no! Oh dear.
I'm like, brother, no.
And?
way. Yeah, right.
Well, wait, how old is?
Got these old guys looking
How
at my
old is
girlfriend.
he?
He's like 30.
How old?
He's 19. Some.
I was like, that could be right. He's 14.
Yeah, true.
That would have
I
been
guess you're
weird.
right. Yeah. But
Was the guy 30 or was he
I
like
didn't even see the guy really. It was just-
22?
It was just I heard that comment of like, oh dang, he thinks 30-year-olds are old.
Yeah.
I'm well past 30.
Yeah. Does he know that? And then, and it's also weird is that when you're mid 30s or low 40s, and then you like have any bit of youth in you, then the youth looks at you and goes like, "Ew,
Yeah, cringe.
what are you doing?" I'm like,
That
"What?"
hit me when I watch sports all the time, and when they're like, "Well, it's the elder statesman," and it's someone a decade younger than me,
I had this.
and in my mind, I could still compete. So, like, what? He's still stick with it, bud.
Yeah.
You always see him there wheezing.
Thank God for the small amount of athletes like Tom Brady, Cristiano Ronaldo, LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, dude, thank you.
Right.
Thank you for selling your soul to be able to do that.
Yeah, because
I hope they let you eat food soon.
because at 35, I still think like I got a chance to make the league. Like the dream isn't over yet. I know it is, but like it's still being done. That used to not be able to happen.
To be fair, I mean, I'm 42 and I'm just as good of a professional athlete as I was when I was 20. Not at all.
I had this. So you talk about those crossroad moments when you say something. I used the word dank at an open mic recently, and this young guy was like, "What?" Yeah. I was like, "Dank, dude, gas, fire," and all he could think about was me using the word dank, and he asked like, "How old are you?"
Are you Swedish?
Yeah. What the hell?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
That's German, right? Does that mean thank you?
It's dank. Things are dank.
You mean Donka?
Right? This is cool, right?
Golly.
I'm dank. This drink is dank.
Guy's like, trust me, I am not dang.
Yeah.
He's like, you mean what is the word? Swiggity or what?
Oh yeah,
What?
swiggity, piggity, poopity.
I believe you mean skibbity.
Yeah,
yeah.
skibbity.
I'm like, what?
I don't. Oh,
Hey, skibbity toilet?
Skibbity toilet.
You're more of a Rizzler.
Yeah.
yeah, Rizzler.
He knows them all because he's got young kids.
Yeah, dude, I know all of it. I'm young.
You're saying that, and I'm over here like, where's my abacus?
Uh-oh.
I'm.
It just happened.
It
You just
just
got
happened.
old during segment 2.
Yeah. It's triple puberty, dude. It's my third.
Is that
puberty.
your new fear as an adult, that you'll go on stage and everyone will be so young that they don't understand what you're saying? Like you're not even speaking English at this point?
Recently, I bombed like 3 months ago. I think I'm good for a solid stand-up comedy performance bomb once every like 2 years right now. I think that's my rate where I zig instead of I zag, and it was at UCF like campus. It was at a place called like Nights Out.
Right.
Some play on words.
Everything says night. At you.
Yeah. And
I love that.
they were young, and they were younger than I was, and it wasn't like I was using vernacular or vocabulary that they didn't understand. In fact, it was quite the opposite. They knew everything I was saying, and I was being aggressively mean towards the table. And they all had like I could see their innocence still in their eyes. Like, dude, you can't talk to people like that. Yeah, and I'm like, no, wait 10 years, get a couple heartbreaks underneath your belt, and you will figure out what hate is.
They're like, we
Okay?
saw this mean, bitter comedian today.
Yeah,
And it's you.
Yeah, and,
The happiest guy. In the
and I'm a positive guy, man. Like I try, at least I try to be. I will say my positivity has been shaken a little bit. It's definitely
by your set at night.
Yeah.
Night.
I definitely have more memento mori than ever before. Like, oh, we're gonna die.
Well, I remember you telling me it didn't come out of nowhere. This table was being.
Yeah, they were being loud, and it was like 4 white girls, and I knew I was in trouble when I made like some quip that was like, we have so much white wine on table 4, and I'm talking wine and both spellings. Yep. And then I turned it up a little bit more, and I was like, you smell of divorce. All 4 of you smell like heartbreak and divorce. That's why you guys are hanging out with each other, because you need to talk about your exes, right? And that's when I crossed the line, and
And they were like, ew, we're 20. We haven't even gotten to our first divorce yet.
yeah,
You're so skibbity.
skibbity. I'm skibbity to whoop your ass, man. Let's go. It's weird. It is weird getting older. It's definitely different. I'm not saying that I'm afraid of it. I enjoy it. And if you want the cheat code of getting older, just hang out with people your age, right?
I mean, then
Or close to it.
y'all know the same songs.
Yeah.
It does help.
Hey, now, you're an all-star. But, all right, real fast. That's the end of our radio broadcast. We have one more hearty topic right after the break. Unfortunately, though, we're out of time on the radio dial. But you can look us up on every podcast platform. We pay for it, so it's time to plug that as well. Make sure to subscribe, download the podcast to finish the rest of this episode.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do that, I'll see you next week. See you later. Have a great one.
Night. Thank you, wives and mothers.
Night with a K.
Good night.
Good Sauce is brought to you always by attorney Mo DeWitt.
He's the man. He supports local businesses just like us. He's an expert in chicken parm and injury law.
He should be the very first person you call if you are ever injured in a car accident or if you're injured in a slip and fall.
Just if your feelings get hurt.
Injured on the go?
Just call Mo.
That's 1-866-CALL-MO or
justcallmo.com.
Yes, sir. We're back. Little third segment for all the podcast listeners.
Hat trick.
Also, heads up. Watch this. Ready? Shit. Whoa, right? We can curse, technically. We're not really big curse people, but we could feasibly do that now.
Yeah. It's cooler that we can and we don't, probably.
Yeah. I'll bleep that. Welcome back.
We're starting over. I hated it.
Yeah.
What the flip are you doing, bro?
Yeah, back to 1. So you.
What the flip is my favorite.
Yeah. What the flip?
I love when kids are genuinely emotional and they say one of those. They're like, dang it. What the flip?
We wanted to talk about we talked about our childhood fears and how unreasonable they are. And do you have any unreasonable adult fears, or are they all like, God, I'm in debt. Oh God, I need to get out of it. Oh God, can I provide for a family? That's one of my biggest fears. One of my biggest fears is being a dad and not knowing if I'm going to be a good one because the future hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
That I would say that would be my biggest adult fear.
You might want to get a hold of that.
Yeah, like
That could ruin 3 lives.
yeah, well, I shouldn't say it's a fear. I'm just like, it's almost like right before I go up and do stand-up comedy, I'm not nervous. I'm just excited to find out what it looks like tonight.
Yeah.
And in that sense, I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. It's not that I would rather I don't want to hit fast forward, but I'm just like, God, what are you into? And that has really been put way more aside now that he's been born, because you're so focused on the now, like, oh, new diaper, I got to do that, and call it for what it is, dude. He's just a blob right now.
Yeah.
He's not.
Don't call your son a blob.
I still think he's in the womb. I like he thinks he's still in the womb. Like, here's something spooky. Whenever I walk in to his nursery, we have a heartbeat playing. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. I asked Olivia about it, my wife, and she was like, yeah, it makes them feel at home, which then brought me back to my original idea for the nursery.
The womb room.
Of the womb room. Let's paint these walls red.
So you kind of got it.
I got the
Right,
womb room with...
Wow.
You worked it in there.
Yeah. So the sound of the womb is happening at all times in his nursery.
And that's probably the most active sense right now for him.
Is sound?
I would think it's not most active, but it's like that sound is familiar to him, whereas everything he's seeing is not.
Yeah.
Wow. Air and all of that stuff is not what he was used to, but that thing might be the last. You should dramatically turn it off one day.
Yeah.
And then be like, no,
Just
Olivia!
Replace it with like a
Dude, for Halloween, let's do it.
I'm going to convince my newborn baby
that his host body
it's gone.
and yeah.
he just grows up scared of everything.
You're like
expecting the worst.
When he's older, I'll be like, hey, did your parents ever tell you about your first Halloween? What we did? We made your first 3 weeks of life a haunted house.
But adult fears. Here's a completely almost illogical, but I just am so afraid of this because, and I love my mom to death, but she wasn't the cleanest person throughout all of my childhood. I'm so afraid of being like dirty parents and having my son like,
That's why your immune system's so strong, though.
yeah.
Well, that and just being a dirty adult.
Being a dirty adult, you could
Like,
be,
bro, you should have gotten this down by now.
you could
You
be.
can't be a dirty adult.
It's almost expected to be pretty dirty at 20, and it's okay because you're like, nah, it's 20, but
Yeah.
35 and you're like, oh dude, look at your toilet. Your toilet looks like you're still, UCF in it, Valencia Community College right now.
If you instill a good hygiene and cleanliness habit in your kid, it really does pay off, though.
And you
I
nailed it.
remember,
I would say that every time I've been over to your house, or whether it be back in the day in the apartment, it's like
clean.
it was clean.
My mom's cleaning standards are insane, and so I grew up like having to make sure everything was always clean. And I will say, when you turn into a teenager or young 20s, when you start dating, at least with I was dating girls, they always brought it up.
Of
They
like,
were like, you smell good all the time.
Hell
Or like,
yeah.
you're clean. It was one of the best things about me, I think.
Yeah.
right now,
That's why now that I'm happily married, I'm a slob.
yeah.
And I've completely let myself go. So there you go.
Right now, I am out of deodorant.
Because I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, right now, I'm out of deodorant, and I
Unfathomable to me.
yeah.
How could you?
I just
Why are we doing this?
And I
would have canceled it.
Yeah,
I'm like, guys, I'm sorry we can't do the pod today.
well,
Gotta go get some Old Spice.
I'm out of deodorant to the point where I need to go buy deodorant right now, but I'm not out of deodorant in the sense of like I'm still gonna put it on and it's gonna hurt because it's just plastic and it's scraping.
Do you ever? Oh wow, you ever just switch and use hers if you run out?
Dude, Olivia. All right, let me whisper into this mic real fast. Olivia's deodorant is the weirdest thing. I don't understand it. It's odd.
It's like natural.
It makes me uncomfortable
Why is it?
because it's like this jar. First of all, what?
It's a jar.
It's in a jar. She untwists something. She grabs like
Puts her whole arm in it,
and it just Mary Poppins bags her arm.
and then flowers shoot out of her armpit. That's cool.
But no, and then she has like this wooden stick, like paddle. She scoops that and then wipes. I'm not about what? Just Old Spice it.
She's spackling.
Yeah,
her
she
pits?
spackles her pits.
She got pit spackle, dog.
She's on the other side of that door, so let's move on. But yeah, she be spackling pits, and it's weird.
Is it like I'm
It's
seeing like
foreign to
Winnie the Pooh honey jar is what I'm imagining.
Very much so.
like ooh.
Well, to piggyback off your fear of being a dirty parent, raising a child that way, one of my big fears, I actually wrote it down, is running out of clean underwear. Like,
Oh yeah.
you pull out the underwear drawer and you're looking through. You're like,
Oh no.
oh no, which is why I'm free-balling in jeans right now.
Are you really? You have no underwear on.
Actually, yes,
That's dangerous.
it is.
That's-
Oh yeah,
That's Chafe City.
it's Chafe City. Luckily,
Denim?
you just sit for most of the time.
Yeah, but you're wearing those. You could have rocked basketball shorts.
I
No,
can't
no,
wear
that's-
shorts. That's like the number one rule on this podcast. I got roasted episode 4 for that in the comments. You can't wear shorts on this podcast.
Ooh, we did kind of talk about it after that. I thought you got some unnecessary knee heat, but
Yeah.
I think we all learned our lesson.
Everyone's
I
like,
didn't realize how bad my knees looked until that
I don't
comment.
think they do. I think that was an opinion about your knees.
yeah, and he ran with it.
But it was the fact that anyone had an opinion about your knee. It's like, well, then you'll never see him again. How about that, internet?
So your
These are secret knees.
there's
What are these?
secret knees. Do you have, when you talk about underwear, because I have a top shelf underwear and a bottom shelf underwear, and what I mean by that
Is it like liquor in that way?
yes, very much so. They're not organized like such, but they are like, I almost put on my good pair of underwear today, where someone bought me a pair of underwear. I looked it up. They were like, I love this pair of underwear. They're called 2 Under, which is like golf themed, I guess. What? And then I put them on, very comfortable, full blown hammock for everything. Everything's breathing.
I was
It's
gonna say,
great.
it's probably just about your testicles.
Yeah, I might
2
just,
Under.
it could, yeah. Now when I think about it, nothing to do with golf.
It's called Grundle hammock. Yeah.
All genitalia themed. But it was a beautiful pair of underwear. Little kangaroo on the side.
I like, okay.
Yeah. Fun time.
A pouch for your little hopper.
But I only wear them when I'm like having a bad day, where I'm like, let me get some out of the normal advantage on what's going on.
It make you like faster.
It's a level of comfort that I'm like,
Why don't you just buy a bunch of them?
They're like 35, dude. That's like
$1,000?
yeah, dude. That's $16 a nut, dude. That's like I can't do that, you know. So and then I also have the bottom tier underwear where it's like, ooh, laundry.
Yeah.
I've got one pair of underwear that I might have been my brother's from like middle school, dude. They are.
Why are you hoarding underwear?
There's no elastic in them.
You know what they don't even sell at Goodwill? Underwear.
Yeah.
Because that's weird.
There's no elastic. When you put them on, they're a little too big, so it looks like I got a dump.
It's just a small flag at this point.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
it's not good. It's like a thermometer where it's like, oh, I've got to get this. I got to fix this pool. It's a pool thermometer for my underwear drawer of like it's time. When that shade of blue starts getting more and more visible, that's when I'm like, I got to clean this pool to keep going with this metaphor. You see what I'm saying? Like
I do.
You know, like it's almost like
I
that
have a suggestion.
one beer in the fridge when you're like, that's been there forever. I need to go get more beer if I see that beer that easily.
Yes, so just always drink all the beer. Never a problem.
Yeah.
Gotta think.
I got a pair of bottom shelf underwears that don't serve any function at all because the hole is wide open and they slip down.
Yeah, they slip,
So
dude.
they slip and my wang is
guys-
out the whole time and
You guys ever throw anything out?
I just threw them out actually.
Okay, because
I
I'm
literally-
like,
that's why I don't have any underwear today is because I threw away all the bottom shelf
I
ones.
put them on. They slipped off when I was driving here. Went out the window. They're somewhere on the 408.
Like, how uncomfortable are you right now with no underwear?
You only get to free ball every once in a while, so
It is a thrill. Just be careful when you unzip.
Yes. Oh yeah. No. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Yeah. No. I've
Risk reward thing there.
Have you ever?
seen something about Mary before. I know how that ends. So.
I did that once. I caught myself on a thigh. Never hit, the boys, but it definitely ripped a thigh.
Oof.
And I had this just slasher film going down the left leg, dude. It's not good. What big fears as an
Now
adult?
that's my big fear.
Yeah, that's up there. That's up there.
Yeah, we
Free
can
ball
have that one
injury.
for sure.
One of my big fears as an adult is just being and knowing. Because the older you get, the more I'd like to think that more people get more self-aware, and I just don't want to be that. Right now, my house is pretty messy, and I'm like, I just want to throw everything away and start all over.
Yeah, I've done that. You know, you can get a dumpster for like $300 and they'll put it in your driveway.
And you just dunk for an
You
entire
throw out
weekend.
everything. Oh, dude, you think that. I've had 3 of them. I'd keep doing this because I don't like having things around, and I don't like having clothes I don't wear. I'll just give them to somebody. Like I don't keep anything I don't use all the time. But the dumpster thing, I thought it was going to be a weekend. It took me 3.5 hours.
Oh, nice.
And I called them and I was like, I'm done. And they're like, was there a problem with it? And I'm like, no. There's
a problem with it.
Yeah, I ran out of room in it. That's the only problem. They're like, you're really going to get rid of all this? I was like, yeah, give me another one.
This third segment is just starting to grow into me venting about my wife. She
doesn't use dumpsters?
She's not a big fan of dumpsters.
She has this weird thing she uses.
Why don't you marry me?
It's a hemp
She's
sack.
got one.
Yeah, she's got one dumpster, and it rhymes with sauce. She doesn't throw a lot of things away, and props to her for being resourceful. I get it, but there's a balance.
Is that what they call hoarding now?
Yeah, there's a balance to it all. Well, it's not hoarding. It's just so many things that are about to be sold on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, that's cool.
The problem is they've got to get to the Facebook Marketplace for that to happen. And that tends to, how do you say?
Well, you just live in a Pier 1 Imports now.
Yeah, of just random. I live in a garage sale. I'm surrounded by items to be sold for $20 to $35.
You tell me when you're out of town next time. Let me
much
call
for
my
a
dumpster guy. Come home.
Dump
saying.
City, dude.
Sold it all.
Yeah, they'll be like, where's the heart monitor machine? Yeah. Like, haha, Miles, happy Halloween.
Yeah. Biggest fears as an adult. I know my wife's biggest fear is sinkholes, which is completely respectable. Like, I get that, dude. They just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, you don't get a siren before that.
No. And it's just, I'm done. Your house is ruined.
Yeah, you don't expect the ground to give up.
Yeah, the ground. You're the most consistent thing in my
Unannounced.
life.
Like anybody who messes with quicksand, you get what you deserve. I'm sorry. But this is just the ground. That would be like us. What if that happened right now?
Yeah, that could happen. The clip.
It'd make a heck of a third segment.
Yeah.
I mean,
what a
Does that
thumbnail.
happen in Florida?
Yes.
More than any other state, brother.
Yeah, mosquitoes and
I have not heard of
sinkholes,
this
baby.
before.
You've never heard of a sinkhole?
Not really.
I mean, he had one in his boxer shorts.
Dude, there was a story from years ago where a sinkhole opened up. Do you remember this?
There's been various.
Yeah. Opened up below this guy's bed, and just his room went into the sinkhole, and I believe he died.
Yeah, you don't really survive that.
Why have I not heard about this before?
I don't know what to tell you. It's a huge thing, especially in Florida because the ground is so wet.
And made of sand. We don't have like the ground.
Yeah. The reason why we don't have basements is because they're afraid of like, no, we can't do that.
Just like implode or something.
Just the ocean will come say, hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Just Satan's like, hey, come on over here. It's called hell. It's pretty hot. Enjoy it.
When you were a kid, did you think that there was a physical hell?
Yes.
Heaven and hell?
Heaven and hell.
Clouds
big
and
time.
fire.
Yeah. Clouds and fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Satan used to scare me.
I got real confused at the concept of the globe and heaven and hell, and then space, and then China. I'm like, well, if they're directly beneath us,
Are we China's
are
hell?
we? And we are. That's the thing.
We are China's
There's a
hell.
reason there's all this tension. It's because, according to most Bible stories, that's hell
What other?
for them as well.
Do you have another adult fear?
Prostate cancer. Oh,
No, that's legit.
that's
Absolutely
legit.
a fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I don't go to the doctor. You can't tell me what I don't have.
Yeah, any cancer, AI robots is a big one.
Wait, AI and robots, or AI
Robots
with AI?
controlled with artificial intelligence, sort of like Westworld,
Okay.
the show.
Or iRobot.
Yes.
There are a lot of cinematic examples of this.
Yeah. We could go on and on.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's definitely not just your fear. It's a great storytelling thing too, but people are afraid. I mean, Terminator, hello.
Yeah.
They're just gonna keep pushing technology to the point where it's gonna get too much and overwhelming, and they're gonna turn on us humans because they're superior and they're smarter.
I'm not laughing at what you're saying. I'm laughing at the conviction in your eyes. Okay.
He thinks we're bugs and we're a disease. We need to be exterminated.
Car accidents. I'm always terrified of car accidents.
Doesn't your spaceship car not crash?
Yeah, but there's still other cars, you know?
Some poor person's going to hit you.
Yeah. Oh, God. Get him off the windshield.
Car doesn't even do anything. You have to steer it.
Debt. I am terminally afraid of debt because I saw what financial struggles did to my mom. So that's one. I need to buy clothes, but I have such a hard time giving myself the actual green light to go buy new pants.
Here's the deal. I've embraced debt, and I'll buy you
Not
some
too bad.
clothes. I don't know what's normal.
Yeah. Well,
Manageable. I can afford my debt. I don't know if that makes sense.
good. All right, I get that.
You know,
get that.
I have to pay it off on time. I've tried not paying just about every kind of a bill that you can, and just to see what happens. I don't recommend anybody live their lives the way I've chosen to do mine, but I always thought, I'm like, well, what do they do? And they'll come get you.
Yeah.
I didn't pay my taxes a couple times. They'll find you.
Yeah. They've got a good track record on that.
Didn't pay my tolls for a while. They'll can't renew your car. Yep.
That's where they get you.
Dude, I'm
like, what? And they're like, yeah, you owe like $800 in tolls. I was like, I do.
Yeah.
But what's funny is anytime I've done these experiments, I did it with my car one time. I was like, what if you don't pay your car payment?
Oh yeah, I did.
They'll
that one
come
time.
get it.
Yeah, they will.
But I always saved the money. I didn't spend it. I had it.
So you just had.
So like when they took my car, they were like, well, you're gonna have to get a check. And I was like, how much? And they're like, it's like $1,100. I was like, okay. And they're like, and the woman goes, you have it? I went, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was an experiment.
I'm like, I just didn't think, I don't like their attitude when they asked for it.
Yeah.
They were calling me all the time. Like, come on, have some class. I'm busy.
Of course I have it. It's called an experiment. The cash is the control.
Yeah. I'm the Banksy of the financial system.
I showed up to a comedy.
Get it? It's wordplay. Street art. My street art is my credit score.
I showed up to a comedy show once, and the first thing this comedian did, he gets out of his car and starts putting on his license plate. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, dude, I'm a toll bandit. I don't pay tolls.
Oh wow.
Toll bandit is I'm going to dress up like Toll Bandit for Halloween.
yeah, dude. I thought
I'm undercover Toll Bandit, but
that was wild.
Toll Bandit.
Toll Bandit.
That's a great rapper name. That is just such a great vehicle. Yeah. Who would play Toll Bandit in the film version? I'm thinking Bad Bunny.
I'm thinking. Yeah, it's weird how fears change over time. A big fear of mine is just like a ton of paperwork, because I am awful at paperwork, which is why I married my wife, because she is really, really good at fine print, understand. She's smarter. That's basically.
You've never bought a house, have you?
No, but
that is maybe the most paperwork. It's absurd.
It's a lot.
You go to a closing. After a while, you just start signing your name to documents that are very important because you want it to end.
Yeah.
There is no Band-Aid ripoff. They just keep bringing paper in. You see staff members with boxes you didn't know worked
and
there.
They take advantage of it. You're like, listen, we're 4 hours in. Just get them whatever. You can sign over a child at that moment. You're like, yeah, sure, take them.
So
just get
lifetime membership to Planet Fitness. You're like, what? Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. And so, my wife is smarter. However, gonna give myself some props here. I married someone who bought a house like months into our relationship. So
score.
I'm playing 3D chess, but everyone is like, dude, this is checkers. So
yeah.
Do you guys ever get like too much mail?
Oh, it kills me.
Oh, you mean any?
Yeah.
I just throw
I don't
it.
know why we have mail anymore.
Yeah.
I do not understand snail mail's existence.
I don't either.
Why are we still doing that? Other than the people who it employs, which I'm all for.
Yeah.
But can't they make, renewable energy? I feel the same about any job where it's like, why do we have that? Just give them something cool and new to do that will help that no one wants to do. I'm sorry about that. I don't think the mail people want to do that anyway.
Nah, it's too dangerous out here. Mail carriers getting robbed, bit by
That's what
dogs.
I'm saying.
Like it's
sinkholes. I know you just found out about them, but it's a thing. You know the number one cause of death in mail carriers? Sinkholes.
See, my dog charged a mail carrier like months ago, and the first thing that this mail carrier did, I was so surprised, didn't move an inch, just put a hand on a hip. And the first thing I thought was like, you got a gun? It was mace. But but the
Just that they had mace is
that-
really funny too.
they had mace. They had like a defense towards dogs. But I couldn't believe.
Is it dog mace?
Yeah, it was Dog Mace. It's a great album as well. It's
That's by Toll Bandit, isn't it?
yeah, it's my Toll Band. But I just could not believe the fearlessness in this male man's eyes.
Well, he was about to engage, so
yeah.
all his training kicks in when the Papillon charges you.
But
Resist the urge to kick and go for the mace.
yeah, it's the fear's an interesting thing. I hope you enjoy Halloween, October. Get costumes.
This was the spookiest episode yet.
Dad, ain't a bad dad.
Raisins!
Raisins. That's Good Sauce, episode 25. Thanks for joining us.
You're our egg salad in the bathroom.
We will never let that down. My name's Ross.
I'm the Toll Bandit, Joel Bandit.
And that is Renato.
Yerp.
Yeah, oh yeah. We'll see you next week. Bye. Boo. Huh?
Oh.